But that's what you understand.
That's the way I understood it.
Especially if it's wet, you don't hear them.
It's hard to tell because there's not but other than a little bit of
It's just like it's in the way that we are that one of the
but you know, that'll just take a little time to get everything settled down. Excuse me a second.
Oh, your second's up. Yeah, that's just the thing. I missed that clock up there.
Skunky beer?
Put the timer on the screen.
Well, it was easier for me to see before.
Better shape than I thought I was. Take it up to a whole new level. I'll check with him tomorrow about that. He's got a first check with that. I didn't notice him in no jackets.
It is warm.
Stop over at Owen Street, I filled her up with white walnut before I come down here.
White walnut.
You know what that is?
Birch.
Cottonwood.
So what you're saying right now is you're getting some heat out of it?
Bill, if you want a chair, we have a couple available.
What?
I let my fire go here and it's too hot outside. I'll burn gas when it's warm like this. It's easy to make that gas, you just.
I know, that is nice.
I bought 4 loads of wood in one weekend here, not this past weekend, the weekend before.
You burned for them?
No, I'm all by myself.
I got
Cut
some
it,
dry
split
stuff.
it, loaded it, unloaded it, stacked it in. My freaking back hurt after I was done. I'm getting too old for that crap.
Yeah?
Hey friends, if you want, I got some locusts.
What is it? I can split off all the stars just to make a square piece.
Huge locusts. My wife's lobby is like huge.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said. I don't have no. What's that that grows like elbow? Yeah, and it's real shitty. And it's hard, it's heavy. But one year you cut it, even if it's in like a stick, you don't burn it. Next year it's just junk. I mean, just get
Turn to mush. Or is it Rochester? Rochester.
Yeah.
Went from Eau Claire to Rochester Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what the funnel does too?
That's what you use if you use 2 sticks.
Tell the doctor.
I think our 5 minutes is now concluded, so we will continue on. If I can beg your patience and ask you to turn over to the reverse side of the agenda here. There are some reconsiderations and allocations of the funds for the Myers Valley Creek project and the Ashley expansion, among others. And looking at these, there are 4 allocations that did not make the agenda this evening that were needed for that, for letter B. So we are going to have to hold off on that for the council to make the allocation at upcoming meeting.
Is that 11B?
No, that is 8B.
But C, D, and E, and F are all related to 8B.
8, letter B is a discussion / action item that we are going to have to hold off on until we get those other budget reallocations. They were written down here and I failed to transfer them onto the final agenda. We had a few of the agenda allocations done here, but I overlooked that and didn't see it, so I
Table it to the
apologize
next
for that.
meeting.
Huh?
Table it to the next meeting. Table.
So, we'll be dealing with that in short time. We can move on to letter C then, 8C.
Bill, you're up, I think.
In front of you, you should have seen something that says memorandum like this. Does everybody have a copy of that? Okay, we're going to let Bill, it says memorandum like this. It is regarding the playground up near the, up behind Shopko there in TIF District number 4. What this is a grant application through Game Time where we, well, you know what, Bill, you,
Sure.
go ahead and introduce this, please.
So every year at the end of the year, these playground structure manufacturers have sales, provide grants, et cetera, so that municipals, organizations, schools, et cetera, can make purchases so that they can essentially get rid of their inventory. And found this grant from Game Time. It offers up to a 50% discount, so they match a dollar for dollar if you go and spend up to or more than $75,000. So before you, and I believe all you guys have the options, we took into consideration safety factor because we had thought that maybe there weren't going to be as much supervision up in that park. So we factored in safety as far as, you know, height, the types of structures there are, monkey bars versus slides versus more athletic or more involved type of equipment. And so before you, we have two options. One, if you take a look at the two options, it's a 3 playground structure set. The lesser of the lesser playground sets are for age groups 2 to 5, and then there's an active, and I can name them off for you here. So the Baker's Brigade play set, that's a play set for 5 to 12-year-olds. And essentially you're deciding between that play set and the Orbit. Yeah. So the difference in those two sets is approximately $5,000. As you can see, the Orbit is a lot less than the Baker's Brigade. The other two play sets, the taller trainer, that's more of an active type play set for age groups 2 to 5, and then you have a smaller play set, which is the Wave Break, which is age 2 to 5. Now, for option 1, the total comes out to approximately well, the subtotal is 102, which is without the discount. The grant. So it's 50% of it is grant. And then obviously you take into consideration the freight and shipping costs, and that's coming all the way from Alabama. So that the total amount for the first option is $56,994. The second option is $51,966, and I'll pass this around so everyone can see it.
So,
Where is it coming from?
Alabama.
Is there something we could talk to Ashley and see if they could pick it up and haul it back for us?
Yeah. And I've been in talk with the consultant. The consultant, because of how late it is in the application process, the deadline was actually 3 days ago, but they've extended it for us. I've been in talk with them, and they're extending it to the end of the month. It needs to be ordered and shipped, or ordered and paid for by then. We pretty much got the grant. It's been already approved by the board, considering what the estimates are. And so we do have the money set aside, I believe $100,000. We took a look, and I asked Raleigh to look into this for approximately 100 by 100 foot play yard, 4-inch mulch, and with the lumber for the border. I think that on the high end is about $6,000 for that. So that's what the price estimates are. And just it's up to the city council to decide whether or not they want to go with either of these two play sets, or if they want to go with a different combination. Like I said, I think these two are the best. These two options are the best option. It gives the most amount of play for the most amount of people. Altogether, this play set, the 3 structures, should be able to handle up to about 120 kids at one time.
Have anybody talked to the neighbors around there?
We have,
We were gonna improve a park
yeah,
up in the 3rd ward a year or so ago, and we decided to do it, and then the neighbors,
the plan originally was for there to be a committee with people from that neighborhood, but because of the deadline of the grant, there was pressure to choose one, or to come up with options, and that's why we're bringing it before the city council to make that decision.
What sort of a track record do we have on these game time facilities? I mean, how good are they? Were there other opportunities or other organizations, other companies
Yeah.
that you could compare and get a bid from too? Or
Yeah, and I took a look at that too. This company, they get their play sets from Playcore, which is a pretty big manufacturer of these. A lot of the distributors go through Playcore. I looked at other sets, playground sets that are in the price range and also offer discounts, and they weren't comparable to these types of play sets. For the number and for the materials that they're made of. They do all of the manufacturers for the play structures have a standard warranty on these items, and they're pretty standard across the whole market.
what about safety on these here? I mean, how safe are these? I mean, is there some kind of a group that approves, kind of like an OSHA thing?
Well, I would imagine that they would have to meet those specs, but I don't know of a, say, a nonprofit organization that would oversee or provide a rating.
Have you checked with maybe other communities that have these?
Whitehall's Middle School has a play set from these people.
Oh.
The other nearest one is, I believe, in Minnesota. So.
Because that was my question, we're getting it from down south, but we're putting it in the winters in Wisconsin, I was just wondering. how
Well,
that would work out.
they manufacture. Well, this distributor is actually from Wisconsin, Minnesota region. So they do have play sets in Wisconsin and in Minnesota.
Bill, does Whitehall like their place at?
I wasn't able to reach them.
If we would go with option 1, well, first, let me back up. I see that $100,000 has been already allocated for this
Correct.
park. So if we went with option 1, this 56,994, does that include like, the mulch and, the boundary and whatever?
That does not, no. So you would add 6,000
So
to.
we have to add 6 to that, and then also the boundary, which would give us.
Well,
at
the
least-
boundary and the mulch is 6,000.
Oh, for
Correct.
both,
Correct.
okay.
Actually, I talked to Halversons, they're willing to drop $500 off their price.
Okay. So then,
That's 2,700.
Okay. So then it's a little, so we'd be well within then our budget
yeah,
at 100,000.
we would
Okay.
be.
Did
And
Lennox
that
get
was
the
the-
same option to drop their price, or no?
I don't know anybody at Menards. I just talked to Eric.
So looking at these, if I may comment, I think
We
option
have-
one is that is the size you're talking about about 100 by 100 or something like that?
Well, it would be for all 3 playground sets.
Oh, okay. The same space.
On this, on the next page,
Right.
Doc, it gives you a dimension.
Yeah, well, it's right here too, isn't it?
And you would be able to arrange the 3 structures however you will like. We have a question over here.
Just, who's gonna install it? How much is it gonna be? And who's gonna be liable for the installation of it? If something happens, you know, a railing comes apart because the bolt's loosened up or something like that? Just
Yeah, well,
asking.
yeah, the street department would be installing it.
Okay.
Liability would be, I believe, under the city's insurance policy, correct?
Of which.
Any kind of injury.
Of which in the state of Wisconsin, injuries are capped at $50,000 when it comes to playground stuff like this, so. It's under a general liability shield.
I like the first option the best, it gives us more for our buck.
I agree.
I'll make a motion that we approve the first option at 56,944.11.
Can you change your motion to 56,994.11?
I think it said 944.
Okay, 994.11.
Thanks.
Should we include the
Plus the
mulch
mulch
of
and
the?
powder.
What's the mulch on the boundary?
So it'd be another 6
55, you said, right?
or 55. With the Eric Alderson's.
I second that motion.
Any comments or anything from the council members?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was writing, are you guys making a motion on the mulch and the other part of it too?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can get 2.
Um, I don't have that in front of me. Which ones are you approving?
Option number 1 is the mulch and the borders.
So Winona, you picked that up in Winona?
No, come out of Glenwood City.
Oh, yeah, Logie or whatever.
Yeah, there's $700 cheaper than Winona.
Is that wood or is that tire, ground up
Wood.
tire?
The tire stuff is,
That's good.
yeah, Kids Kingdom was 2,600 for wood and 40,000 for rubber.
Well, and that's being questioned now too.
Like on these
The-
football
The
fields,
safety
right?
of it.
Wasn't that
On
what
the
the
tire
telephone
concerns.
says?
Right.
And a lot of work, cause you gotta take it out, put rock underneath it. That all adds in, you know.
Took the tire stuff and they all the all the tires were picked up with the county on the roads.
So there was a price for that mulch and whatnot, that 55 or was that 60 or 6,000?
It's 2,100.
So the motion was for option 1 at 56,994.11, and then mulch at is it Logie?
Yeah, 2,100,
At 2,100, and then the boundary.
Somehow or someone.
that's 2,700. Eric said he
You
dropped
already
500
got the
off.
6 down to
Oh, okay,
4,700.
4,700.
4,100.
Can you include that packet that I just gave you, Mrs. Berg, as part of the minutes too?
Yes.
Any further comment or discussion from anyone?
When does this go in if we pass it? I made a motion.
Probably.
Yeah, it would be early next year, whenever, yeah, because they plan to ship
Project for you.
this before the end of the summer, before the end of winter, actually, that's why the rush to get the order in before the end of the month here.
That'll be a nice addition up there.
Just rally it, you have room for it with the shop? Or pavilion, or where you?
Pavilion is what I was thinking, chicken pit.
Okay. Okay. If you need help, let me know.
Got a motion by Feltus, seconded by Colstead, and a vote whenever you're ready, please.
Can we just include as part of the motion that those funds will be taken from the interfund loan that was allocated for the truck?
Sure. If that's okay with you guys. That way the motion just designates where the funds are coming from, and that it's been, duly allocated.
That's fine.
And a vote whenever you're ready, please.
Conrad?
Yes.
Feltes?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes.
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
And just so you guys know, when you get an end of the year, expense report on the budget, that this will, be an expense, and it will look like the, parks went over budget, and this is a perfect example of how they don't go over budget, how we use funds from, a certain source, and it's allocated towards this, and it shows up as the expense, so make sure that, you also, look at the revenue side of things. Okay, Mrs. Berg, you've got vision insurance to present to the council.
One more, please.
We are switching health insurance providers, January first. Do you need another one?
We got an extra one here.
You're welcome.
We are switching health insurance providers, January first from Health Traditions to WEA Trust. One of the things that, with all the benefits, we had a kind of a benefit fair. One of the things, that they are offering through WEA Trust is vision insurance. Currently, we have a handful of employees that have chosen that as a, as a voluntary benefit, so they take it as a payroll deduction. And it was, just mentioned that possibly with the savings in the health insurance premiums, that this might be a benefit that the city, would like to offer to the full-time employees. I will tell you that, it's competitive rates. If the employer, the city sponsors, it would be $3.94 a month for a single person with single health insurance coverage to have vision insurance. And for a family, it would be $13.81. If the employees choose it as a pre-tax deduction on a payroll check, it's $5.25 for single coverage, $18.38 per month for family coverage. We currently have 30 full-time employees, 21 of them with family coverage, 9 of them with single coverage. I had calculated it out and did a breakout between the general fund and the library, since they have their own budget, and the utilities, that it would be an annual cost to the general fund of just shy of $1,800.
You have a choice to take that then, or?
Well, currently, if someone chooses to take vision insurance, they pay the premium. And so if the city just offered that as a benefit, then, all the employees would have the option. I suppose if someone didn't wanna take it, they could elect not to take it.
And if you had somebody that doesn't have the health insurance but wanted this, could they still do it?
Yes.
On their own.
Well, if the city were to sponsor that benefit, the utilities would pay their portion, the library